Hey guys, still here and welcome back to, yes, Wargame Red Dragon. It has been a while since I did a video on this. It's because I haven't played the game that much, but recently I've taken to doing another stint of Ranked. Today, Highway to Hell. Why am I showing you this match in particular? Well, it is turning into a bit of a crazy game, this one. So bear with me. Everything that you know about this map is going to be wrong. My plan with my Eurocorps battle group, motorized that is to take all of these motorized forces and make my way over here very quickly. I want to hold these positions here, here, and I want to try and cut off anything that comes across from Foxtrot to Gulf. So I'm going to have some light units defending this area here. Of course, Echo is nice to have, and from this side with a building here and some tree lines there, it is fairly easy to defend. In order to defend the other side, I'm going to have one Puma Pirate dropping off Commando Infantry, the Commando Para, so Recon Infantry, and a Gazelle Cannon is going to scout for me. As for my opening force, it is a couple of recoilless rifle jeeps, hello Blitz War, a couple of AMX-10 RCs for their firepower, AMX-10 RC SB for their firepower and AMX-10 RC for their recon, 2 Crotal, 1 HEGM Milan F3, and 2 Legionnaires in their VAP 2013, so I have a bit of everything. Anything higher than 16 AP is going to get handled by the HEGM infantry. I'm also bringing my Panther that dropped off the command infantry over there, and I have another CV rolling towards Bravo. So, let's see what my Gazelle Recon can find. What am I fighting? What is Thunder bringing? An escort. Okay, so it's Dutch. Could be Dutch-German. Could be... oh, there we go. There's the Germans. So it is Dutch-German. The DGC, the Dutch-German coalition. And of course, the Panther immediately wipes out my reconnaissance bird. Oh, sorry, the Tiger does. But I am able to see it. Now over here I have a Viale Minstrel, so I'm very interested to bring this thing close. But it's probably already getting detected, and he snipes it. So there goes my anti-air, and you can immediately see that he turns his escort around and tries to go after my units again. Considering that he bought an airplane, that means he has 100 points less to spend on actual combat units, at least actual field units. And you can see that the Tiger and the Escort are currently mopping up whatever I have left. The Escort is taking some fire from the VAB, and I'm also able to use the Crotals to snipe his Tiger, so we're getting fairly even. I bought a Rafale, and the Rafale is able to take out the Escort. So that's about 200 and something points down. There's an aircraft. And where's the rest? Because normally, by this point, you see something coming down. But if I'm not encountering resistance, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to try and get into Foxtrot. There is a Dornier 205 that seemingly dropped off the command infantry, considering it only has a level 2 veterancy. So I'm going to bring up my anti-air. I'm going to try and get a VLRA over there. And let's see what I can find here. That was one Dutch transport. There are the Stoottroepen, which are going to have a really rough day. I drop off the HGM, I drop off the Legionnaires, and I'm trying to find the command infantry. And this is not it. This is more Stoottroepen. And meanwhile, I have sent my pirate helicopter to go after whatever I can find over here in Hotel. But as you can see, the place is being defended by a cheap anti-air unit. Over here, I have found the command unit, and a Peace Rhine was not able to strike because they lost line of sight. It's been ordered to evacuate, and I'm able to wipe out the command infantry. So, where's his stuff? Where's his stuff? Considering that I was engaged by the Tiger Recon and the Escort, I suspect that it's down on the highway. I suspect it's going directly to Alpha. And currently, there's not a whole lot that I can do about it. There is not much that I can do to stop that train. What I can do is bring in my own command infantry over there to Foxtrot to try and take it. I'm trying to recover my visual on Delta and the main highway by bringing another AMX-10 RC. And in the meanwhile, he is trying to defend with, or trying to come back with a couple of units that have spawned in here. But he's being really clever about it, and you're going to see why in a minute or two. Now, I am defending my spawn. I'm still not exactly aware of the fact that he might be bringing his whole column down here. So that is a big mistake on my part. I should have defended this a lot better. Speaking of defending it a lot better, this is dangerous. And this too is quite dangerous because this Dornier has the exact right idea. He's going to try and chase down the Panther, which contains my command infantry. I mean, his CV is obvious, but so is mine. So the Crotals are coming up to try and save the Panther, and the Dornier is going to die. And that's when we start seeing some activity at base. That is a Leopard 2. And of course, Flak Panzers are cute, but will do little else but provide nice target practice for the, by now, 2 tanks that are coming down into my main spawn. So at this point, I know that I'm going to lose this, and I've accepted it. My Rafale is going to have to stay on its airbase for now. I'll not be able to use it. I'll not be able to call it in, which is fine. I'll just have to use other means. So the Leopard 2 is coming in, and with it is a Leopard Recon tank. Nice combo. Oh, sorry, a Leopard 1A4, not a Recon. Of course, the command gets detected and starts dying very quickly, meaning that I lose Alpha. But I have Bravo, and I have Foxtrot. So the map is going to be really quite interesting at this point, because I wouldn't be surprised at all if he's going to have a CV going to Alpha. He might also turn those vehicles that he has in there around and go for Bravo, so I'm relocating my CV prematurely. I'm bringing up a couple of Legionnaires to try and defend the entrance over there. But by now, it is anybody's guess where the rest of his units are. If he has any, that is. I have dropped off. There we go. I have spawned in some units here. That was a Viale with Commander Para, but immediately got engaged. There's Stoottroepen over there and over there. So anything that gets spawned in is going to die very, very, very quickly. I thought about spawning a helicopter, probably will die. I thought about spawning in autocannons, will die too. So at this point we're just going to have to accept that Foxtrot spawning is unable. I cannot use that. What I'm also interested in is seeing how much he has over here. So I'm sending a light force, just a couple of recoilless rifle jeeps and 1 surviving AMX RCSB to try and deal with whatever is down there in Foxtrot. Hopefully not too much. HEGM plane comes in, wipes out 2 of my M106s, but that's fine. I don't really care about those. Now I did try to spawn in a quad stack of the Flak Panzer M42A1 to hopefully try and stun the Stoottroepen. I know they don't have that many RPGs, but at this range they won't miss. So if I want to spawn anything in, it's going to have to be, well, numerous. Making sure that I simply outlast the amount of RPGs that they have. I don't really have the tenacity to spawn in that much, because that would require about 120 to 150 points. And yes, it is nice to have this spawn, but right now I am more interested in getting my main spawn back. I've defended my main Bravo exit to whatever comes in by a couple of Legionnaires. And I'm also expecting more helicopters, because this guy has used helos before, he might use helos again. If I was him, I'd send a helo. So my VBL Minstrel over there in Bravo is defending the place. Now here, I have found his CV. I know it's a command tank. It's a command Leopard 1. And I am completely unable to get a shot off. Nothing is able to really get a kill. I hoped I was able to get the Leopard command tank or Leopard stealth tank, but my shell landed just behind it and missed. So that is fairly well defended. So what is next? Well, I'm on a +2, I'm on a +1 now. I would love to try and get back into Alpha, but that's going to take some work. I don't know where his units are, so I'm just going to have to do some scouting. I'm trying to get the Panther over here to work with Cassiope to get rid of the Stoottroepen over there, but they're proving difficult to engage. Here, what is this? That's a CV flying in. You can see it's low on fuel. It flew all the way around the map, and that's what he's trying to bring in. Okay, that needs to go. Normally I would send a helo to deal with this. Maybe the Gazelle can intercept it, but no, it can't. So this is problematic. It needs to die. I don't have a plane. I do have a Caesar, but the Caesar usually works in tandem with the FOB. Today it can't, because my FOB's over there, and my Caesar's all the way over there. So you can see that he lands the helo pretty much where I expect it to go, and I'm shelling that general position, trying to deal some damage against it, thus hopefully eliminating the CV and making sure that the alpha spawn remains denied. Now, if he's particularly quick, he could try and get some units spawned in there. And I suppose that escort was spawned in. I did see that coming. So I already sent a VBL Minstrel to a position to ambush it. One missile out. Second missile, no more escort. Perfect. Job done. My voice really is shit today. The amount of times that I'm pausing this recording and just coughing my ass off is so annoying. Anyway, I'm going to speed it up a little and do a bit less commentary. Another Gazelle trying to spot the CV, getting info for the Caesar. Logi bringing supplies to the Caesar. It's not much, but whatever I can get helps. The unit gets shot down over there, no eyes on, but I know that there's a Gepard over there. Caesar goes and engages. At this point, I don't really have that much that's defending Fox, and he is definitely making an effort to try and come back here. There's a lot of units coming in. Commander Para cannot quite find it, and all I can see is basically one Logi. And that's not alone. Tanks, infantry, this is going to be a bit annoying. Flak Panzer Gepard rolling down the main highway. Tiger on the far right, defending the escorts, or defending the assets over there, which gets detected by the Commander Para, but of course it starts dying really quickly. I have my own Tiger engaging in operations here, but I was not yet able to kill the Gepard. So this means that I am still at risk of losing the Tiger. So I'm trying to spot it, trying to spot the Gepard using the Caesar to engage it. His main push that drove into Alpha has died, but it is a really dangerous game that I'm playing over here. As for the north, not much has happened, but my CV is coming under fire. My Tiger finds the Gepard, or the other way around, but it is panicked. The Tiger's able to make a retreat. Over here, still not much going on. Bringing in a command infantry to try and sneak it all the way over here into the woods. It's a predictable spot, I do recognize that, and so does he. He's sending in grenadiers to try and hold that area. So I need more. I'm going to need some help. And that help is going to be provided by a couple of guys from the German Special Forces. I'm going to be spawning in a Futschmillen with a couple of Fallschirmjäger. Fallschirm 90 to be exact. At this point I did see some units over here in Echo, and there is more happening over here. My CV and these grenadiers are awfully close, and there is a Leopard which is also making its presence here. Really quite dangerous. Now, here comes the Futsch, and there's another Tiger. I'm working with two Tigers here. Because this Leopard's kind of overextending, which is much to my benefit, of course. And meanwhile, to the south of Echo, I have some issues. The Tiger kind of issues, and they know where the Caesar is, and they're about to kill it. Nice move, good kill, and he immediately pulls back his precious Tiger before my Minstrel can do anything about it. So, can I get back into Alpha? Well, I would love to, but there's a bit of infantry in the way. Now keep in mind, I'm trying to run operations here, in Foxtrot, and over there, so my attention is much divided, leading to some suboptimal choices here and there. Also, because I don't have a fob, I cannot rearm my Tigers. That's quite annoying. So I can see that Gepard now, I just can't really do anything about it. Seed would have been perfect, but no joy. So I'm going to have to wait until my infantry is in position here. In order to make that happen, we're going to have to remove some grenadiers over here. So the Fallschirmjäger 90 pushing in, even on the move. These guys are so deadly. One group of grenadiers, not a problem. I've lost 2 guys, they've lost 8, 9, 10. Gone. Moving on. Group under the command of Falcon back, engaging the next grenadiers there. Command infantry just behind them, eager to catch up. And, well, I really am playing an awful dangerous game here, because I'm pushing them almost into conflict with the grenadiers. The moment I get detected, of course he knows what's up, and he knows what I'm doing, if he doesn't realize it already. As for here, there are some things happening in this part of the map. Here we are. This is problematic. A Leopard 1A4 rushes up. One lonely legionnaire survives, and there's not that much that I can do about it. So that Leopard misses, or rather the Eric's missile misses the Leopard, leaving me a Leopard on the loose. I have legionnaires there, I have a VAB, and I have a CV, which is getting awfully dangerous. Smoking up my own CV there with a mortar from afar. And with just about their little... There we go. The little toe inside the sector, I can now spawn in units. So let's spawn in a leopard, let's spawn in an AMX, and let's bring in some infantry. To make sure that I can reclaim my fob, I can eliminate that leopard... Sorry, that Gepard that was running off. And that I can secure against a future push like that. Also puts me at a +2. In the meanwhile, over here, my position is weakening, and I'm still not spawning in anything here, although by now I'm not even sure if there's anything left. Perhaps it is such that the infantry that was there has now moved here. Also, the moment that I recapture my own fob, it gets shelled by the other guy. Thunder is raining down thunder, with, by the looks of it, at least 2 artillery units trying to get rid of my fob, which does take a few hits, but does survive. It means that I can now also resupply my tigers. The Panther, in the meanwhile, was sent to go forward to try and deal with the incursion there, but now there is a bunch of infantry over there. So, fortunately the Panther survives. I can drop off the the Commander Marines in there, and make sure that the Panther provides ample fire support with its rockets. As for the rest, I'm hunting down that Leopard. Job complete with the Tiger here. What we have there... that is another Gepard, which is taking some shots at a Jaguar, but the Jaguar does get the kill. So I'm trying to secure the airspace here, if you will, making sure that my Rafale and my Tigers can operate a bit more safely. Over here there's another Dornier coming in. I suspect it's another infantry CV, or something to that effect. I'm not sure if the infantry CV is still aboard, but the job has been done. At that point, we have another couple of autocannons coming in. That's more Dutch transports. And I have virtually nothing left. I got 2 VABs. My Crotal have been pulled back in lieu of another attack. And I only have Legionnaires and 1 officer from the command squad over there surviving. That's it. Fortunately, I do get a bit more control over the rest of the map. There's a Leopard Verkenning there, and with its escorting Gepard dead, I can easily wipe this guy out. But, in the meanwhile, he's been able to wipe out my command here. So, you know, everything that used to be going right on this map is just swapped around. I'm not really supposed to have control over Foxtrot. I'm supposed to have control over Bravo. I finally recaptured my main spawn. It's just such a weird game. Here we got a group of Grenadiers moving to a more favorable position, I suppose. And here my Crotals happen to move directly into the path of a couple of 765-25s, so the Crotals are dead. That's my anti-air defense gone. And of course, with 2 Apache escorts hanging overhead, there is not a whole lot that I can do. I lose control over Foxtrot, my fob is still getting shelled but survives. And both of my Tigers are alive, but with my Rafale out of the skies, I'm going to have to be a bit more careful about how to go about air operations. Here, the combined effort is working out. The Commander Marines are engaging, and the Grenadiers, which are attacking, immediately get wiped out by the Panther, so that whatever is left can get mopped up by the Commander Marines. That means that this building here is once again under my control. Tiger wipes out the Grenadiers walking around in the open, and over here we see 2 more escorts. Like I said, this guy really likes his helicopters. And that could mean that if I just bring enough anti-air, I have a really, well, maybe a fairly easy time taking control over the rest of the map. You just gotta make sure that he loses his units, his aerial units, because that seems to be a pretty big reliance on him. He's relying on the Apache escort, he's relying on the Tigers, I'm seeing Dorniers. If I can just shoot as many of these down as possible, I should be fine. 1 Tiger back at the fob on 3 hit points trying to resupply, and the other Tiger is back on station, although it has of course used a couple of its rocket pods in order to deal with the Grenadiers over there. I'm parking it here, trying to engage both of the escorts. I only have 4 Stingers, that's not a lot. That means every missile has to hit. And to make matters a little worse, I do hit 1, but my ammo box gets hit, meaning that I don't have any further Stingers. So now I'm running away from this Apache escort. That can do 280, I can do 290, so I'm just a little bit faster. And I have a VBL Minstrel racing forward, trying to survive, or trying to help the Tiger survive. And it does, It kills the Apache Escort, or near enough. And an F4F is now chasing down my Tiger. There's not much that I can do about that. The Apache Escort dies. Here comes the F4F, and it does not kill the Tiger. Minstrel engaging. Trying to hit the Brendryen, but misses, and the Brendryen finishes it off. Now, at this point, my Mirage was dead. Oh, sorry, my Rafale was dead, but my Mirage is alive. So I'm able to take out one of his Brendryens. And my other Tiger narrowly survives getting killed. It just down to 1 hit point. So immediately all the way back to the fob. At this point we have seemingly found another group of Stoottroepen. Probably disembarked from either this or that group over there. Milan F3 here, somehow not getting detected by the Stoottroepen which were advancing before. And they're now able to start wiping out a few transports. And now it is the Minstrel who's on the run. Because I don't really have much to deal with an autocannon. Missile tries to catch it, but tree line blocks it, so now it's up to the MX-10RC to try and hold this guy off. At this point, I have a lot of points, 294, there's 15 minutes remaining. I dare not say I have map control, because it's really shaky. I don't know where he has units, but again he calls in more helicopters. Another Tiger and Escort combo. Of course, the Milan is screwed here. But because I already kind of saw this thing coming, I had a Minstrel infantry as well as a Crotal. So here comes the Tiger and the kill shot on the Tiger, and then the Escort is next. The Escort does have some optics, but it's largely blind. Without the escorting force of the... well, without the escorting force, it is the Escort. Without the supporting force from the Tiger. The scouting element. At this point I have some Commando Para over here, and I have a quad stack of recoilless rifles. Preparing to support the Commando Para in deleting all the Stoottroepen from the building over there. At this point, more infantry here, more Stoottroepen. I am dealing with that eventually by bringing in an AMX 1390. Great rate of fire, very nice to deal with infantry that's out in the open, so that's the plan. Commando Para in contact, Stoottroepen immediately taking fire from 4 recoilless rifles. And at this point, the Commando Para are just... well, they're not really getting shot at by the Stoottroepen anymore, because they seem to be orienting against the recoilless rifles, but not really doing that much. And the Commando Para pulling back slightly. There is a bit of trouble coming in. That is a Recon Leopard. You can just make out the camo netting around its barrel. So that is a bit more than my recoilless rifles can chew off. I'm going to need something else, and something else is already coming in the form of a couple of, I think they're Chasseurs actually. They're not Legionnaire, I call them Chasseurs at this point. Another recoilless rifle thing, no sorry, a VAB dies. And over here, yet another Apache Escort bites the dust, as a VBL Minstrel takes it down. Allowing the commandos to hold off against the Stoottroepen. These guys are going to have a pretty rough time. Now, these brave recoilless rifles, panicked and everything, are trying to deal with a perfectly calm Leopard, forgetting. Of course, they don't really do that well, and the forgetting is just picking them off one by one. But at this point, I do have my Chasseur in position, and an LRAC F1 with 19 AP is perfectly capable of dealing with a lightly skinned Leopard with 8 frontal armor. So all I needed to do is overextend, and it's doing exactly that. He's moving forward. And he's moving right into the Chasseur. Unfortunately, his artillery is also moving right onto my Crotal. Come on, Chasseur, get the flank shot. Even a front shot will do at this point. Turn off the machine gun. And Leopard dead. Good kill. And now the VABs can easily wipe out the Stoottroepen without any concern for their safety. Because the Leopard is no longer there. I'm bringing my own Leopard 185 up the road, trying to get more control over the highway. But it seems he is very heavily invested in using this road here. 2 more Leopards coming into play, 2 1A4s. And he is starting to bring a CV. He's apparently noticing that, well, it's 12 minutes, he's a bit behind. He has 7 points versus 294. But I believe at this point I've killed so many units that he cannot have a whole lot left. So I'm going to go aggressive. I'm going to have the Leopard try and engage, and there's the other CV. I'm wiping out the Gepard, the Leopard, basically anything that I can see. The 2013 is going to war against, watch this, the Leopard and the Gepard, killing the Gepard. Leopard was panicked, so that also dies. And at this point, the CV over there is in position, the CV there in position, but he doesn't have a whole lot left. So time to go aggressive and start manning, or start wiping out CVs. There's another infantry coming in. I'm pushing forward with Commander Marines, with the MX-13, with the VABs. 2 more Leopards, however, show up. So that's a bit dangerous. And the Stow Troop in here could be in a position where they're defending the CV, which might be over there. Legionnaires moving forward. Over here we have another potential skirmish, but MX-10 should have that. Yep, he'll be fine. I didn't even catch that as I was playing. I was too focused here. There we go. There's 1 CV down. The VABs are looking for the target. This is going to be an interesting encounter. 2 tanks versus 2 transports, essentially. 2 IFVs. Holding position. And finding the CV. Turning around. And engaging a Leopard 1A4, which dies. Engaging the Leopard Verkenning, which dies. And at that point, he gives up. So I killed a bit more than I lost. More importantly, didn't panic. Because it was such a weird game. I thought, okay, I'm going to lose my main spawn. It's fine, it'll happen. And we can just move on from there. That's what I did, and that's what worked. As for the kills, all over the place. No real single unit that did a ton of work or killed any particularly high value units. It's just, well, generally every unit got a few kills. But especially late game, the VABs, they surprised me. They got a lot of damage done. So, that's it for the game. Don't panic if you lose your main spawn, as long as you have backups. Hope you guys enjoyed the game. I hope it wasn't too croaky on my side. And I'll see you guys soon for more videos.